Welcome to the Stanley Street Social Daily Unpack of the Giro and Welter. My name's Alex Clements. I'm here with Campbell Flakemore. And we're here after a huge stage of the Giro. A massive stage of the Giro. Where we saw everything we semi-predict unfold. I guess Wilko was the rare... The uncertainty, the point that we weren't quite 100% on. But our boy, Australiano, Perth boy.
One's our boy.
Jai Hindley. Jai Hindley's our boy.
I'm just going to put this fucking dog down. He's sort of tangled up.
There's also a piece too. I pushed that we were going to have Chris Hamo on this show. We are going to have Chris Hamo on in the next couple of hours. He got his times a little bit mixed up with the daylight saving kick in here. So I think he's currently still in bed, but should be joining us in the next hour or so. So it could be a live show. It could be a podcast coming out tonight. So keep your eyes peeled for a Chris Hamo catch up. But last night, Cambo, it went from Ineos riding to Rowan and the favourites. Quickly.
It all happened very quickly, didn't it? And again, it was Rowan Dennis who suddenly become the third best climber in the race. Absolutely just muscling it, and it wasn't like the Stelvio day where he did his turn and peeled off. He just kept dieseling to the finish. Some could argue that he might have been the strongest guy on the day because even when he was putting in tacks, he kept on coming back in. And it was some stage.
Just push your mic forward a little bit. Just like up. I think that's better.
Try.
We're having a shocker here. I'm going to have to put the blinds down because I reckon I'm about to get peppered by the sun. No, it's all right. It's all right. Dogs, mics. Yes. It was the showdown that we thought we were going to have. Wilko dropped awfully early.
Was he a bit disappointing?
Yep. I was disappointed in him. It just looked a bit half-hearted, the effort. I understand.
That is stiff. That's stiff,
no.
mate.
Let me finish. Let me finish. So Rowan was exceptional. Rowan was out of this world. He's arguably going to win Teo this race.
Yeah.
But just when he went and Jai was there, Teo was there, and Wilko just kind of sat up and he was just flapping around a bit when he got dropped. I don't know. I was just hoping for a bit more heart, a bit more spirit, a bit more, all right, I've got the jersey on my back. This is not going to plan, but I'm going to take this on. I'm going to start riding. But he was looking around. He was trying to get other guys to ride. I don't know.
Well, I agree. It was a little bit disappointing. I think the result. I'm sure the effort was 100% there. You're in the pink jersey. You got the last road stage. I'm sure there was no giving up, but he was lucky that he got a chop out from the Quick Step boys with Almeida there, because if they had not been there, he could potentially have really blown out and maybe lost his podium spot. Maybe that's a little bit extreme, but he wasn't contributing to the chase, was he, with the Quick Step boys? And then when Almeida went, he couldn't follow. It looked like he was just really, really crawling to the end of the stage. And I think we saw his first weakness on the first stage that Teo won, when Jai pulled the last 8K. Wilko, he looked like he was hanging on. He couldn't sprint with Teo. And ever since then, it's kind of just been a little bit of a slow decline. And maybe if they had their time again, they'd go all in for Jai, sort of from that climb. But cycling, especially Grand Tours, they just change so quickly, and that's the plan they went with, and they're going to have to live with it. But there's still a chance for them to win this Giro tonight in the time trial, because on paper, Teo is probably the better TTer, but I mean, if ever there was a time to do a good TT, it's the last stage in the Giro with the pink jersey, etc., etc. So we've still got a race tonight.
But do you know what I mean? Like, Wilko's performance up the Stelvio was exceptional for mine. Like, so much grit, so much hustle. Things went wrong, and he did pretty much everything he could to fix it. Whereas last night, it was just a bit, I don't know, just didn't feel like he wanted to win the race.
Clearly, it's not sitting well with you.
It was, give me a bit more. But Jai was exceptional again. He was the only one that could follow Rowan and Teo. He put in a red hot effort to get rid of Teo. So we got to the final climb. We had a change of strategy from Sunweb, obviously. Wilko out of the race, the time trial not in the equation, and we needed to take time on Jai's behalf. And so we went on the hunt a couple of times. One little attack to get rid of Rowan. We almost didn't get rid of Rowan, but got rid of him for a little bit. And then, he was going full steam ahead.
Well, the first one was never a real attack. That was just a tester. Like, he was testing out Teo. Okay, Teo's good. Now the next one has to be proper. And then he put in two real hard ones. But I mean, Teo, like, heard that he's from a pretty rough part of London. He's obviously a tough kid. He's cunning. He looks streetwise. He just looks so hard edged, and he was not getting dropped by those attacks last night, was he? He was
straight on the wheel.
He was looking so up for the scrap, and then just even the last K, he just came right up next to Jai, pretty much putting him into the fence, just like, listen here, mate, like, I've got this. I was very impressed from him last night. Just a real hard man. He was very good.
Did we rate the kind of the ride up next to him? Just looking him in the eyes a bit. Which ride until Brest here? You're gonna have to win this bike race.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah,
I didn't mind it, but
no, he was exceptional. Jai was exceptional, but did he just mistime his sprint a touch?
Yeah, a little bit
off.
I think he got caught on the front, sort of let his guard down for a second or two, and then sort of Teo's gone, and then Jai's reacted quite late, and they're probably quite equal in the sprint. And when someone gets the jump on you like that, it's very tricky to pin them back. So it would have been nice to see Jai get his second stage win, but there's a little bit of consolation with the pink jersey on the same time as Teo. So, there's a lot of talk us saying that maybe Jai was the best climber in this bike race, but I think Teo probably proved yesterday that he's on par with Jai. Those two are probably equal strongest in the mountains.
Yeah, and Rowan is the best teammate in the race.
Yeah. Like you said, he's won this Giro for Teo. If Teo goes on to win, the two performances over the last few days have just been incredible. As good a domestic performance as I've seen. Can't really remember any better in recent times, but we've always known that Rowan can do that sort of ride, but to do it twice on a big stage, very impressive.
It wasn't in question, but we were talking about Rowan's role change as not just the TT king at the squad, with Ganna appearing and just torching worlds in the opening two time trials. But has he found this performance, this ability to change the race for Teo? He came third on the stage last night.
Yeah. After pulling the whole second last climb, the whole downhill, the whole valley, and then just diesel the whole climb, no one could come back to him. I mean, it's not a surprise though, is it? Someone that can do a good time trial like that. He's not like a massive, 80 kilo TTR, probably around 70, to 73, 74 kilos probably when he's fit. So he can still put out massive numbers and be at that weight. He's gonna climb well, and he's the climber that likes to climb at the one pace. So what he's been doing the last couple of days has been absolutely his bread and butter. So exciting for Ineos to have him in their stable going forward for the next couple of years in Grand Tours, I think. And I think Rowan's happy to do that. He's happy to do that role. He's probably happy to maybe go for some GCs in the 1 week races, but I think his ambitions as a GC rider in Grand Tours has ceased. But he's found himself a nice little pocket at Ineos, I think.
Yeah, 100%. To Adam's point on the YouTube, Tay didn't look great at the start of the climb, but just got better as it went on. I had a similar inkling when Jai won that intermediate sprint, which became awfully important in the end because it gave him the pink jersey. It was almost uncontested from Teo, but he just got real good at he's just stuck to Jai's wheel.
There were a couple of times there where I thought Jai might have had him, and Teo was just he rides a massive gear. He loves riding out of the seat, just cranking along. He looks like he's going slow because he's in such a big gear when he gets out of the seat. But like I said earlier, he was just like this dog mentality that he was not getting dropped at all costs. And he just got better as the climb went on and took his second stage win. So, favourite, I think. But I'm sure we'll discuss the TT in a sec.
What are you thinking?
Well, I don't want to look
at time. Who would have thought we'd have equal time on the GC, the last stage of the Giro?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolute crazy talk. I don't really want to look at the first TT as a reference point, just because of the climatic conditions and all reports Teo wasn't taking risks. The second TT, it's 30 odd K. Again, not too sure, but the TT that I think is a really nice reference point for us is stage 8 of Torino this year, 10K. Both guys having a crack, and Jai Hindley finished 6 seconds behind Teo. So Filippo Ganna won the stage. Teo was a minute behind. And then Jai Hindley was only 6 seconds behind him. It was only a 10, 11-minute effort. So this one's going to be a little bit longer, probably 17 to 18 minutes, I'm guessing, somewhere along there. So I think it's going to be a little bit closer than what people might be writing Jai Hindley off. But when you've got the pink jersey on in the Giro, I think you can go to another level. And Jai said he's going to die trying to defend the jersey. Yeah. So he's going to be up for the scrap, but so is Teo. So it's going to be a good finale. Head's probably saying Teo, but as an Australian, love to see Jai win this Giro.
I did enjoy this quote from him when the reporter asked about the time trial tonight. I think he's shown, he being Teo, that he can time trial well, but it's also the last day of a 3-week Grand Tour. You never really know what's going to happen. But personally for me, I'll die in that time trial to keep the jersey.
Yeah, he's a real racer, Jai. He's a real racing man.
Yeah. I think as you said, the data shows that Teo should win.
Mm-hmm.
But I love that Jai is straight to the point of you never know what's going to happen. It's the last day of a Grand Tour.
Yeah.
And I think the data that you've pulled is a lot tighter than the minute on the time trial at the Giro. 6 seconds, a little bit longer, which will favour Teo.
Mm-hmm.
But the pink jersey, the question is how much time is in the pink jersey?
How much time does it give you?
How much time does it give you?
Look, over this sort of effort, you could probably say comfortably, but that you'll get 10 to 15 seconds benefit of being in the muggy road.
That's what it's worth.
I reckon there is some value in that. I reckon there's definitely value in wearing it.
Is there more value in being in the jersey than being behind and chasing?
I think so.
Within striking distance, like
Yeah.
you
And
take
I know this probably has nothing to do with what we're talking about. It does a little bit, but it's different. Alaphilippe in the Tour de France last year in the yellow jersey in the TT. Did anyone think that he was going to win? I know we're talking about two completely different riders, but these are the sort of things that can happen in a Grand Tour TT when you're wearing the jersey.
You say they're different riders, but I think they possess a fairly common trait that you touched on before. They're both racers. They both thrive under the ability to beat people. It seems like Alaphilippe's definitely got that trait, and it's come out in Jai this Grand Tour, which makes him so good. It's nice that it's possible.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not like he's 20 seconds down.
Yeah,
it's not like he's chasing. He's leading. He's in the jersey. It's for someone to come take it off of him. So that's really nice. But yeah, we could talk about it till the cows come home.
Back-to-back Grand Tours with them coming down to the final time trial.
Yeah. Well, again, something crazy happened in the Tour de France. So it's been that sort of year. Carnage could unfold. I don't see anyone else. It's not possible for anyone else to come and snatch it. It's simply not possible with Wilko at a minute 30 down. I think he's locked down the podium. So the podium's absolutely secured. Third place is secured. It's just that first and second place, which is subject to change.
Mm.
And I think we could probably all say that Filippo Ganna is going to win the Tapper.
Yep.
He's bread and butter.
Yep. The only other point that I had down for last night's stage was how good was the Koenig Quickstep yet again.
Oh, man, this Almeida guy,
there and everywhere. Almeida Quickstep, their team is out of control. I don't care that they didn't win the stage, that they didn't really have any effect on the end result, but just the way they go about everything, you can see how they just produce some of the best races and in turn some of the best results.
Yeah. I don't think they would have got to the bus yesterday thinking, oof, we should have had more of a crack.
Yeah. So it's fantastic. That squad is out of control.
Yeah.
An update on the advertise that Chris Hamo is joining us. He will be joining us, just not yet. I believe he's still in bed.
Okay.
So he'll be coming on hopefully in the next hour or two. We'll just re-kick off the live stream, or it'll be on the podcast app stores and YouTube and all those kind of things later on tonight if you miss it. Anything else from the Giro last night, Campbell?
I don't think so. No. Unless you got something else to add.
We can't really tip because it's going to be Filippo Ganna that's going to win.
Mm-hmm.
And what are you thinking, Teo or Jai? Who's going to win the Giro, Campbell?
Well, I said Teo on the last rest day, so as a neutral.
Did you say he was going to win the Tour?
Yeah, you can go back and check the tape if you want. I think I went Teo on the I went Teo on the second rest day.
Mm.
So after he won that first stage. So
yeah,
but I really hope Jai can do it, and it's definitely possible. Pink jersey. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah. I like this point too from Gav on YouTube. Almeida and Remco back next year. Some little bit of a GC squad forming for Quickstep.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what does that mean for Julian? Of course, he still go to the Tour de France, but whether they choose to take one of these two to the Tour next year might put a little bit of a different spin on how they attack it.
Yeah. Yeah. La Vuelta?
La Vuelta.
After how good the Giro was yesterday, I couldn't get enough of the Giro, and I found it real hard to get into the Vuelta.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that. Like we said, too much of a good thing. This is the perfect case of it. First proper breakaway to go to the finish. Some good riders up there as well, like Tim Wellens winning the stage with Guillaume Martin in second. I thought Guillaume was going to put up a little bit more of a fight in that finale, but we talked about Tim Wellens in the pre-pod for the Vuelta, saying that we're not really too sure whether, is he a world-class rider? He's got this world-class kind of reputation, but does he win enough races? Well, he's come out and won a nice stage of the Vuelta, so good on him.
Yeah, I think that was my only point, was that I was giving him a little bit of heat for maybe not performing enough as of late, and he's come out and won the first real opportunity for him to win. So
yeah, we saw
that's nice.
Our man Rob Power sniffing around in that big-ish kind of early move that went, but with Sepp Kuss there, it never stood a chance.
Yeah, good signs. Putting himself in the right position.
The legs are good, and also the day that Dan Martin won, he was only a minute off the pace, which is neither here nor there really as a result. But what it does show is that he has good legs. So he's 30 minutes down on the GC, perfect. He's going to be allowed to go up the road in the moves. So I think there's some chances for him ahead.
Yep. I think also Primoz was pretty stiff.
Yeah.
There was a crash at in the last under the 3K mark. Primoz was obviously in front of it, as were other riders, and he's gapped the field, but they haven't given him any seconds. They've just said we're all together.
Yeah, I reckon he probably deserved one or two at least. But with Dan Martin binning it, everyone in that group just got Primoz's time, which I don't know how that works, because Primoz distanced everyone else. But I guess at the time of the crash, Dan Martin was there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll have to.
So if you're in trouble, if you're in trouble, 200 to go, it's an uphill finish. Just throw yourself on the deck, hands down, splatter yourself on the pavement, and you'll get bunch time.
It looks like that could be a tactic going forward.
Yeah. Anything else from the Vuelta?
Don't think so.
I guess Adam. This makes sense. Adam's point on YouTube. He thinks that Roglic had a part in it, part in the crash, which seems to give him the same time. Anyway. Tonight is the night. It's unfortunate that Jai is not off till, I think I saw it was 2 a.m. Oz time. Jeez. Awfully late.
Yes.
But it's a huge night for Australian cycling. Have you also noticed its lack of coverage in the commercial Australian press?
Yeah, I mean, I do see the papers on a weekend. And I think when Jai won the stage, it was like in the corner of page, 15 pages in from the back page. And I understand that it's grand final week. We had the grand final here in Melbourne, in Australia. Yesterday, it's going to take up 98% of the sports section. But, with the Herald Sun sponsoring the JK Herald Sun Tour, a little bit of interest in cycling, I thought the coverage has been a little bit stiff. With an Australian possibly winning the second biggest race in the world. Yeah. I don't know. Good point.
It didn't help on the timing. It doesn't help on the time, but I think it shows cycling's insignificance outside of the Tour de France.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah. Anyway, we hope that Jai can pull together something very special tonight. And as mentioned before, Chris Hamo will be joining us at some point. So there may be a live stream a little bit later on. But when he gets out of bed on TT Day, he's treating himself to a sleep in. It will be on the podcast, on the YouTube. I'll catch up with him. And then tomorrow, 5:30, back here, Max Gorn, Melbourne Football Club captain, will be joining us to chat about the Giro everything about the Giro. Hopefully, the first Australian winner. And yeah, that's all from me. Thanks, Campbell. Thanks for the comments.
Alex.
Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you back here tomorrow at 5:30.
See you then.